Welcome to the channel. Today we're diving into a subject that touches every life, even when we don't see it clearly. Desire. More precisely, the power that desire and sexuality hold within our unconscious. Have you ever wondered how much your desires shape your choices, your relationships, your identity? What we often call love, attraction, or passion, is it purely biology, or is something deeper at work? According to Carl Jung, one of the founders of analytical psychology, sexuality is not merely a physical function. It's symbolic. It's a language of the unconscious, a force carrying meaning, trauma, fantasy, and deeply shaping how we live, love, and seek purpose. And that's the journey we're embarking on today. But don't worry, this video isn't about sex in the way it's usually discussed. We're not here to judge what's right or wrong, or to draw moral lines. Instead, we'll look at sexuality as a psychic energy, a creative, liberating, and even spiritual force when understood deeply. So if you're someone who enjoys exploring human behavior, psychology, and philosophy from a more thoughtful lens, give this video a like. It helps us reach more curious minds. And make sure to subscribe for weekly insights. Now, tell me in the comments, do you believe desire controls us? Or can we master desire? I'll be reading your answers. When we mention sex, people usually think of physicality, instinct, reproduction, or pleasure, but Jung saw sex as far more than that. For him, it was archetypal energy, a universal symbol embedded in every myth, religion, and story humanity has ever told. It's as though desire is the unconscious speaking through fantasies, dreams, longings, and even our anxieties. When repressed, this energy turns chaotic. Compulsions, addictions, inner conflict. But when brought into awareness, it transforms. It becomes art, creativity, healing, because ultimately, desire is the movement of the soul. It moves us to seek, to create, to connect, but it also forces us to face our inner fears and shadows. For Jung, this sexual force is a form of libido, not in Freud's narrow sense of sex drive, but as a broader life energy. It can manifest as desire for a person, an idea, a mission, or a deeper transformation. And crucially, this energy doesn't vanish when repressed. It disguises itself, but when acknowledged, it integrates. This is when sexuality stops being an impulse and becomes a tool for growth. Desire doesn't just pull us toward someone, it draws us inward, toward the self. It becomes a bridge, not a prison. Every man, Jung said, carries an inner woman, the anima. Every woman, an inner man, the animus. These inner figures profoundly influence whom we love, how we judge, what we project, and what we desire. Ever felt an intense, irrational attraction to someone? Or idealized someone to the point of seeing them as your missing half? Often, that's not about them. It's your unconscious projecting part of you onto another. Jung believed that love often begins as an encounter with the unconscious. Unless we understand this, we risk falling into confusing, even destructive relationships, searching for what's missing within us in someone else. The anima connects men to emotion, intuition, and vulnerability. When integrated, it empowers. When distorted, it shows up as the unattainable muse or the dangerous seductress. The animus in women connects to reason, structure, and assertiveness. When healthy, it brings direction and confidence. When repressed or distorted, it becomes internal criticism or rigid idealization. These inner archetypes operate silently, shaping who we're drawn to and what we expect in relationships. Jung urges us to recognize these forces and begin integrating them, so the inner feminine and masculine can cooperate in balance. Because true connection starts with knowing yourself, Jung also introduced one of his most thought-provoking ideas. Many times when we fall in love, we aren't loving the real person. We're loving a projection, a mirror of our hidden self, that intense soul connection. Often it's the anima or animus at work, using the other as a canvas to show what we need to awaken inside ourselves. These projections serve a purpose. They point to parts of us that are forgotten, repressed, or undeveloped. A man may project sensitivity onto a woman, revealing his disconnection from his emotions. A woman may project strength onto a man, reflecting her need to claim her own power. But when these projections go unnoticed, we start expecting perfection from our partners, setting ourselves up for disappointment. That's why relationships that start like fairy tales sometimes turn into nightmares. The projection breaks, and we see the other person as they are. Human, flawed, different from our fantasy. But this breaking isn't bad. It's essential. It's the moment we stop expecting someone else to complete us and start becoming whole on our own. Here enters the shadow. For Jung, the shadow is everything we repress, the traits, feelings, and impulses we deny or judge. Sexuality is often hidden deep in that shadow. Many of us grow up hearing that desire is sinful, shameful, or dangerous, so we bury it. But it doesn't disappear. It returns through guilt, fear, confusion, and unhealthy behavior. Jung said, "What you deny controls you. What you accept transforms you." Facing the sexual shadow is difficult. It can feel uncomfortable, even painful, but it's profoundly freeing. This isn't about indulging every urge. It's about listening to what the urge is trying to say. Often, our most taboo or confusing desires carry messages about our unmet needs, our past wounds, our hidden longings. When we confront this, we reclaim our energy and gain a deeper freedom, not to do everything, but to no longer be enslaved by anything. Jung also recognized a duality in the feminine archetype, the mother and the temptress. The nurturing, protective mother offers emotional grounding. The temptress, however, embodies passion and transformation. Both are powerful forces in the psyche, and both can be projected onto others or internalized as conflict. In men, these figures often appear in romantic projections. In women, they cause inner dilemmas: be nurturing or independent, soft or strong. But these aren't opposites to be chosen between. They are complementary. Integration means acknowledging both. When women accept their inner temptress, they no longer fear their power. When men stop searching for a perfect mother-lover, they begin learning to care for themselves. Recognizing these archetypes helps us untangle unrealistic expectations and start building deeper, more conscious relationships. Because the feminine isn't just care or seduction, it's the dance between them. At the center of all this lies Jung's concept of the sexual hero, not a seducer, but someone brave enough to confront their own desires. This hero doesn't repress passion, nor does he get lost in it. He transforms it. You might know the feeling of being trapped in repetitive emotional cycles. Jung would say, that's the call of your hero's journey. Pattern. Jung believed sexuality was never just about the body. It's a bridge between instinct and spirit, between shadow and light. The same energy that drives pleasure can awaken purpose. In ancient cultures, sex was sacred not for being morally pure, but for being deeply symbolic. It wasn't just a physical act, it was a union of souls, a mirror of transformation. Today, that sacred view is often lost, but the unconscious remembers. When we start seeing desire not as shameful, but as a messenger, everything changes. It's not about denying the body, but walking through it to find the soul. Not being ruled by instinct, but letting it speak and then transforming its message into wisdom. In the end, Jung said, human wholeness is found by uniting our inner opposites. Sexuality is one of the most powerful ways to do that. It forces us to confront fear and longing, light and dark, and through that, become more fully ourselves. Desire is just the beginning. What you do with it, that's your evolution. If this journey into the unconscious stirred something in you, if it made you see desire, love, and sexuality through a deeper lens, then don't let it end here. Subscribe to Self-Trance for more videos that awaken, challenge, and expand your understanding of the mind and soul. Every week we dive into Jungian psychology, symbolic truths, and the hidden patterns shaping your inner world. And remember this, true power doesn't lie in controlling desire. It lies in understanding it. Until next time, stay conscious, stay curious, and keep walking your path inward.